than when we normally share for Mother's Day. We always say something about moms, and it's always been good, but I wanted to do something different. I wanted to maybe minister to moms this morning. And as I was praying and searching and trying to get my mind going to as to what to do, I believe the Lord directed me to something. I came across a devotion that was written by a mom to moms. As a matter of fact, it's a book that she read and wrote. And I'm going to share some things from this book to moms that I thought would be helpful. Now, some of the things will minister to you more than others, and maybe some might not be helpful. But this morning, I want to share some things from this lady's material to help moms. And then, of course, my input is going to be also in there. I just want to say that, first of all, it's not easy being a parent, okay? It's not easy being a parent, but I think it's even harder being a mom. And I'll tell you why. Because a mom not only deal with kids, they sometimes deal with a husband that acts like a kid. Can you say amen? And that's true, okay, if you really think about it. So moms, I'm going to share some things that I pray that you learn that you learn from a lady that's a mom writing to moms. The first thing she encourages moms to do is be one tough mom. To be one tough mom. It seems like, and I don't know why, but I know dads are an influence and all that, but you know what? Have you ever hear kids talk and, they talk about my mom? I got to ask my mom. They run to their mom, you know what I mean? And that's just what happens. And moms are great. Moms are great. The men are the men of the house, but normally the mom is the boss. Okay? I don't know. It just seemed that way to me. Sometimes as I observe families and things, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, moms have a wisdom and a boldness even that men don't have. Be one tough mom. It seems like kids just don't get the fact that you are the parent and not them. If that ever happened in your house? Hey, who's the boss here? Who's the parent here? You know what I mean? It's hard being a mom because there's always, parenting is not easy. But you need to be the boss without apology. You have to be the boss. This is one thing the devil wants to do. He wants to destroy the family structure. And we see that happening. Today there's so much division in the home. There's so much taking place that I believe that we need to take a stand to bring things the way they need to be. There's a lack of parenting. Today parents are being burnt out. It's not the kids running away from home. It's the parents running away from home. Can you say amen? It's tough. But parenting is vital. Parenting is of God. You know what? It's a parent's responsibility to train up a child in the way that they need to function in life. That means that it's you, moms, it's you, dads. We are responsible to teach morals, to teach obedience, to prepare our kids for when they leave home to live their life. They're going to make mistakes. But let me tell you something. It's what you taught them that's going to teach them how to correct their mistakes. Some may even lead to God. Some may even leave God. But it's what you teach them what's going to cause them to come back to God. It's time to take control back. Amen? Moms? The days of kids ruling the house and having you bow down to their ways is over. That's the attitude we need to have. That's the attitude we need to develop. That's the attitude we need to live by. Enough is enough. The devil is not going to tear anything up. Don't allow your kids to manipulate and boss you around. Okay? So what do we have to do? You need to find a good balance in parenting. You need to learn to be firm but not harsh. Okay? You need to know that you are the mom. They are the kids. You are the mom. And let me tell you something. It seems like I'm talking to you being a parent to little kids. I want to tell you something. This pertains to even your adult kids. You are still the parent. There is still a lot you could teach them. Many moms today are trying to be their kids' best friend. Let me tell you something. That's not going to work. Okay? Now, you could be cool. You could be all this. But let me tell you something. If you're going to be their best friend, you will never be able to correct them as a parent, as a mom. Because by you trying to become their best friend, you're bringing yourself down to their level. You need to always be the mom so they could always look up to you to bring them up. Okay? Let me tell you something. Your kids don't need a buddy. They need a parent. But what happens today, moms want to be best friends because they don't want to be the bad guy. Sometimes you got to be the bad guy. Amen? They may slam doors, or has that only happened in my house? They may slam doors and say how much they hate you. How much they hate you right now. I'll tell you, I didn't write this, okay? I'm reading something somebody wrote, but this had happened in my house. I hate you. And bam, the door. But let me tell you something. This has also happened, and this will happen if you are a mom and not a friend. Later, they will understand that your actions, that the things you did was for the good, and they will love you for it. Especially when they grow up and they become moms. Amen? But, okay, this is a harsh one, but I'm going to say it because she wrote it, and there's a principle, okay? Don't be afraid to tell them to shut up. Okay. The reason I thought that was harsh because I don't like to use those words. Shut up. Have I used them? I sure did. They got to shut up sometimes. Amen? When they continue to ignore the please be quiet, or they challenge you when you want to, and they challenge you and want to put up a fight, you need to flat out, you need to tell them flat out to sit down and shut up. Now, it sounds harsh because right now we're in church and this and that. But you wait. Okay? Now, let me give you some wisdom. Let me give you my heart here, okay? You have to use wisdom. You have to use wisdom. I don't think this lady is saying to, when you say shut up, to say with your face all red and all, shut up! Okay. I know that's not what she means. But the point is this. You have to let them know that you are the parent. You have a responsibility to teach them and prepare them for life. Let me tell you something. It's better that you tell your kids to shut up and teach them something than for the police department to tell them, shut up. Handcuff them for somebody in authority telling them, shut up, because they didn't learn respect. They didn't learn things that were supposed to be taught in home. Amen? And you don't have to use shut up. That's just a point, okay? I really don't like to say that, and there's been a few times when I did, and I've come back and told my kids or something, listen, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have got this upset, and I shouldn't have said this, but listen, I love you, man, and what you're doing is wrong. Because that's not my way of talking. That's not my way of dealing with things. But let me tell you something. Sometimes you got to get mad. Sometimes you got to take control so things don't get out of control. Remember, you are the parent. Kids do not see the bigger picture. Kids don't know what you know. Kids don't know what can happen if they do what they want to continue to do. They don't know what they do. They don't know, they have no idea where you have been and what you have learned. When I was training, I was thinking about this. When I was training, when I was in basic training, they were preparing us for Vietnam to go into a war zone. You know, we didn't know what Vietnam was like. We didn't know what was taking place up there. We didn't know what we were going to face when we got there. But our drill sergeants did. And they always referred to Vietnam. And they drilled us. They corrected us. 8 weeks in basic training. They were tough. I hated some of the things we had to do. Every day, we were being prepared for when we got there. We were taught discipline. We were taught obedience. We were taught the importance of following instructions. Why? Because we were being prepared to survive in a war zone. Let me tell you something. Our kids are no different. It's a war zone out there. There's a lot of things that they got to learn, and our kids have no idea what it's like, what's taking place, the predators, the abusers, and we need to teach them. Oh, man, come on, that can't be. Oh, man, you don't trust me. I remember Lisa. We were coming to church or school one day. Well, it's not bad, but I remember that's when she liked boys, okay, and boys. And, we'd be going to L.A. and she'd be saying, oh, shut up, my God, Anyway, but, and we were having a conversation, I think it was her and I and all that, and she said, Dad, you don't trust me. And, man, I felt bad because I didn't. I didn't trust the fact that, emotionally she wasn't ready to make decisions. When you go into a relationship, there's a lot more than walking in, There's a lot more. There's hurts. There's things you got to learn. There's good things, but and you know what? I said, God, it bothers me. It bothers me. What should I tell my daughter? Because I don't want to tell her. No, I don't trust you. Well, I didn't, but I didn't say it. I just said to myself, Lord, I don't trust her. What should I do? And that day, God gave me the scripture: put no confidence in the flesh. Man, I said, I don't even trust myself. You know what I mean? But I'm the parent, and we want the best for our kids. They may not like or understand the commands and the drills that you have to take them through, you are just trying to prepare them to make it in life, to survive, okay? Another thing she wrote that I thought was real good is this: delight in your perfectly ordinary child, okay? Enjoy your perfectly ordinary child. Emphasize ordinary, okay? You know, we can become obsessed in trying to raise extraordinary kids, okay? Hey, if your kids are ordinary, they're ordinary. Nothing wrong with that. Amen? Trying to raise them to be what you want them to be instead of who they are is going to cause problems for everybody. Okay? Praise your kids for who they are. Praise your sons and daughters for whatever talent they have, whether it's a little talent or not much. Not everyone is born to be the next Michael Jordan. Oh, if you got a clumsy kid or something, don't buy him a basketball and all that. Try and make him, work with them, enjoy them. They're not. Our kids may not be the next medical genius who discovers a cure for cancer. But let me tell you something. Help them, inspire them. I don't know if you. I encourage you to watch a good movie. It's a documentary. Ben Carson. You all know who Ben Carson is. Ben Carson is, I think, he's the one he was one of the candidates for president. But this is a documentary of his life story. And you know what? Let me tell you something. These kids lived in the project, in the ghetto, and all that, and the black kids, and the projects and all that. Best scenario, okay? They didn't know. Her mom didn't know how to read. Mom did not know how to read. She was a hardworking mom. The father was not in the picture. But let me tell you something. She started cleaning houses for this rich man. I don't know what he was, but man, she was fascinated by the books. And he talked to her and told her the importance of reading and all this. And you know what? What she did, when she got home, she turned off the TV. She said, "You guys are not going to watch TV except for maybe 1 hour a day." Today, that would kill our kids. You might have to give them 2. Anyway, she encouraged them to read. She kept reading, bringing books and books and books, and these young kids became educated. I forgot what the other son was, but he went out to be something good. But Ben Carson became a medical professional. He's the first one that had surgery on 2 twins that were born with their heads connected, and he was the first man in history to split their brain, and they survived. Now, let me tell you something. She didn't make them become a doctor, but she encouraged them. She encouraged them. And that was a gift that God had put in him. And she just encouraged them, motivated, watered them. And this is what I'm asking you to do, parent. Let me tell you something. We don't know what our kid's going to be. But just encourage them to be the best. Encourage them to get an education. Encourage them to, you could do it. You could do it. You could do it. Because they can. Mom, even dads, Mom, you need to be there to do that. Don't push your kids to be the most outspoken, artistic, or courageous kid on the block. Just love them for who they are, okay? Now, another thing, when you have to say no, say it like you mean it. But you're going to have to say no, okay? First of all, no means no, right? Okay, does no mean no? Well, At least that's the way it should be. But let me tell you something. Many times, no doesn't really mean no, and kids know that. Okay? Kids know us. They know how far they could play us. Okay? They know how far they can go with us. Watch your kids. They know. We're predictable. Let me tell you one thing I don't like, and they brought it out here. The countdown method. It's cute and sometimes commercial. You want your kids to stop doing something? Stop that. 1, 2, Now Bobby, which happens to be Lisa's daughter, it was so comical. Lisa told her, stop it. And she goes, 1. Bobby goes, 2. So I come to the conclusion that the only thing the countdown message does is teach them how to count. But it doesn't work. And how high are you going to go before they stop? 101, 100. Sometimes a parent can feel guilty and find it hard to say no. Let me tell you something. Sometimes your kid wants to do something, go somewhere, and you feel bad because you got them doing homework, and their kids, the other friends are at the mall and all that. You got them coming to church, where the other kids are running around doing all that, and, Mom, can I go? Please. Everyone's doing it. Let me tell you something. And you have a hard time saying no. Let me tell you something. If it's no, you tell them no and mean it, because you're doing it with a purpose in mind. While all these other kids are going here and doing that and everything, you may feel guilty, but let me tell you something. You aren't investing in your kids. One day, your kids will become something, and those that are running around in the mall, that's all they got out of life. Are you with me? You know what? Look at all these foreign people that come from foreign countries, poverty. They come to America to become something. Let me tell you something. The parents sacrifice. They sacrifice, and the parents just invest time with them. They encourage them. They spend money with them. And let me tell you something. They become the doctors. They become the business. They become, and what do? Minimum wage jobs. We become just every ordinary worker. Are you with me? You need to set boundaries for your kids. Don't let them convince you to move the line. You draw a line and you leave it there. They need boundaries. It creates security for your kids, and it saves you and them from a lot of heartache. Amen? So when you say no, say it with authority, but you don't have to shout, no! Okay, say amen? Where all the neighbors heard it. Oh, I guess they can't go. We know. Or better yet, you're driving to church and shut up! And everybody looking at you. Everybody looking at you. They don't have, they could hear your face, they could see the windows run. No! You know what I mean? You don't have to do that. Keep the bigger picture in mind. Now, 2 last things and then I'm finished, okay? Now, I don't know how this will work for you and all that, but to be a good mom, to be a good parent and all that, you know what? You need a break. Get a hobby other than your kids. okay? And nothing wrong with taking a break. Have you ever had a hobby before you became a full-time mom? Anything, reading, planting, gardening, hiking, anything. Well, start doing it again. Start doing it again. Start treating yourself to a little fun without the kids. Okay? And let me tell you something. It's not selfish to take time and have fun, to rejuvenate yourself, because you will be more relaxed and in a better shape to be a good parent. Are you with me? Amen? Okay. Never give up. You may feel like giving up. You may feel like you failed as a mom. You may feel like you don't do everything right. But please believe what I'm going to say next, okay? Nobody has ever done everything right, including us, your pastors. We're parents too. We're parents too. We listen to Mary's teaching. We get advice. We do this. Nobody has ever done everything right, but this is where the grace of God comes in. Okay? 1 Corinthians 15:10 says this, "But by the grace of God I am what I am, and His grace toward me was in vain." I believe this is the Apostle Paul. Apostle Paul was an ugly man before he got saved and all that, and you know what? He should maybe not have been where the man of God that he became, the honor that God bestowed upon him. But let me tell you something. It's by the grace of God that we're even making it. Can you say amen? The grace of God is His merciful kindness upon our life. God knows that we don't do everything right. God knows we don't do everything right, but He has grace upon us, and He helps us when we call out on Him. When we call out on Him. You know what? Every time we say, "God, help me," I think I blew it. I think I lost my temper. God, help me. Let me tell you, it's the grace of God that will come in and just help you and teach you what you need to learn. 1 Corinthians 15:10 says this, "But whatever I am now, it is all because God poured out His special favor on me, and not without results." One last thing. I'll close with this. Be a friend to yourself today, moms. Be a friend to yourself. Stop drowning yourself. You know, you don't know this, but maybe, God, it's been some time now. It's been maybe 5 years. I always say 5 years. 5 years ago, okay? I feel better now because I'm treating myself different. But I used to hate Father's Day. I used to hate Father's Day, and I'll tell you why. Because I blame myself for the things my kids did. I blame myself for them going into the world. I blame myself for all the mistakes they've done. And God showed me, listen, you taught your kids well. You taught your kids well. What they did because they wanted to do that. Man, I had to learn that. Let me tell you something. My kids are not perfect, but they know God. There's those that are serving God here. There are those that are struggling. But let me tell you, regardless of where they're at, they know God. And you know what? Father's Day does not bother me no more. Because you know what? I'm a good father. I know me. I've given my best for my kids. And now all my kids have to do, even if they don't say it and I see it, I'll talk with my kids. every one of my kids have heard me say, not weeks ago, months ago, but recently, I love you. I love you. I'll text them and say, I was thinking about you. I love you. I'll do that. But see, today, don't down yourself. Be a friend to yourself. Moms, this is your day. Don't get away someplace and wallow with regret and cry and all. Let me tell you something. We've all made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. Stop telling yourself that you are not a good mom, or that there are many things that you are not good at. And let me tell you something. That may be true, but let me tell you something. You are a mom, and God is helping you, and He will help you. You know, you're not the only one that feels that way. We can become our worst enemy. You know what? Many times you may think many times we're the ones that think negative about ourselves more than we do. We tear ourselves down. But if you need help in any area of your life, God will help you. God to help you. And that's what I did. I noticed that Father's Day came around. I don't even want, I couldn't stand it. Happy Father's Day. But let me tell you something. I said, God, help me. Help me. But let me tell you something. That's when He ministered to me and said, Art, you're a good dad. You taught your kids. My kids have never seen my wife and I fight. My wife and